welcome to the Explainer. Okay, let's just dive right into this. Picture this for a second. You're out to a nice dinner, the bill finally arrives, and you pull out this sleek, remarkably heavy metal credit card. You drop it onto the marble table, and it makes that deeply satisfying clank. It feels like the ultimate sound of luxury, right? I mean, it absolutely commands attention. But here's the real question we're answering today. Is paying hundreds of dollars every single year for a piece of metal actually a smart financial move? Today, we're decoding the economics of premium credit cards. We're going to map out exactly how these things work just to see if these cards are actually saving us money or if they're just quietly emptying our pockets.
So, let's start with the immediate hurdle, and honestly, it is a huge one: the sticker shock. In the US market right now, getting your hands on a premium credit card, think the Chase Sapphire Reserve, the Amex Platinum, or the Capital One Venture X, well, it is not cheap. We're talking about annual fees ranging anywhere from $395 all the way up to an eye-watering $695 every single year. I mean, that is a massive chunk of cash to hand over to a bank just for the privilege of keeping a card in your wallet. And when you see a number like that, it naturally triggers a very, very logical question.
And this is exactly what we need to ask. Why on earth would anyone chase these crazy high-fee cards when the market is literally flooded with excellent zero-fee credit cards? Seriously, you can go online right this second and find dozens of cards that won't charge you a single dime to hold them. So, what's with the obsession with the premium tier? What is driving people to willingly hand over almost $700 a year? Well, the banks know exactly what they're doing, and they've engineered a very specific formula to get you in the door.
Now, what's really fascinating here is the bank's psychological and financial hook. It's called the first-year offset. To justify that massive upfront fee, banks essentially throw what we call sign-up bonuses or welcome bonuses right at you, along with immediate statement credits. Let's say you just paid that $695 fee. Almost immediately, the bank might reward you with 60,000 to 80,000 bonus points, assuming you hit a minimum spend. If you use those points for travel, they hold a real-world value of about $800 to $1,000. On top of that, a lot of these cards give you an automatic $200 to $300 travel credit. So you book a flight or a hotel, and boom, that credit is just automatically deducted from your statement. When you run that math, the value of the welcome bonus plus the credits combined completely blows past the annual fee. It essentially makes your first year of holding the card a net zero cost or honestly, highly profitable. But as we all know, a welcome bonus is a one-time trick. The real game, the true test of this card's value, begins in year 2. That's when you have to start recovering that massive fee all over again, but without that huge sign-up bonus to save you.
Which brings us to the core engine making all of this work: the math of reward points. Once that first-year honeymoon phase is totally over, how do you actually keep extracting value? Let's look at how these premium ecosystems compare to your standard plastic.
With a normal zero-fee credit card, your primary weapon is usually a flat, straightforward earning rate. You swipe the card, and you get maybe 1% or, hey, perhaps 1.5% cashback on every dollar you spend. It's simple, it's reliable, but it's really slow. Premium cards, though, they completely flip this script. Instead of a flat rate, they offer accelerated earning power. We call these multipliers, and they apply to very specific lifestyle categories. Usually this means travel, flights, and dining out. So instead of 1%, a premium card might give you 3 times or even 5 times the points on every single dollar spent in these categories. It might sound like a pretty small bump at first, but when you zoom out and look at your yearly spending, the difference is actually staggering.
Let's see how this builds with a real-world, everyday math scenario. Say over the course of a year, you spend $15,000 on travel and dining out. If you put that on your regular, standard cashback card, you're looking at a return of around $225, which, hey, not bad, it's free money. But if you strategically route that exact same $15,000 of spending through a premium travel card earning 5x points, you suddenly generate 75,000 reward points. And here is where the absolute magic happens. You don't just redeem those for simple cash. By utilizing the card's premium ecosystem, you can transfer those 75,000 points to travel partners. Think places like World of Hyatt or major international airlines. By doing that, the value of those points can skyrocket to $1,500 or more in free flights or luxury hotel stays. Just like that, simply through everyday spending in the right categories, you have completely recovered your annual fee and then some.
But the points are really only half the story here. The other way these cards justify their existence is through tangible lifestyle privileges. These are perks that act as actual cash replacements in your budget, assuming, and this is key, you already use these services. First up, airport lounge access. We're talking Priority Pass, the Centurion Lounge, Chase Sapphire Lounges. If you fly even 4 or 5 times a year, the free food, the drinks, and just having a comfortable seat away from the terminal chaos, that can easily be valued at $300 to $400 annually. Then you have lifestyle credits. Cards like the Amex Platinum hand out things like $200 in Uber credits.
$240 for digital entertainment, and even $100 for Saks Fifth Avenue. Finally, they usually cover the $100 to $120 fee for TSA PreCheck or global entry, fully waiving it every 4 years so you can just breeze past the long security lines. If your natural lifestyle already includes taking Ubers, paying for streaming, and eating at airports, well, these perks essentially function as free money offsetting your annual fee.
So if it's all just free flights and free Ubers, everyone should absolutely have one of these, right? Well, let's hit the brakes for a second because we are now entering the danger zone. Believe me, these banks are not running charities. They're actually hoping you fall into two massive pitfalls.
The first pitfall is totally psychological. It's the forced spending trap. Because premium cards come with so many hyper-specific credits, like that Uber or Saks credit we just talked about, it is incredibly easy to start treating the card like a monthly coupon book. You might actually find yourself buying things you don't even need or taking a way more expensive Uber instead of just hopping on the subway solely to use up your credit so you don't lose it. Listen, if you are twisting your natural spending habits just to justify the card is playing you. You aren't playing the card. The second trap, however, is purely financial, and honestly, it is far more dangerous.
High APR interest. This number right here is the silent killer of credit card rewards. Premium credit cards typically carry incredibly punishing annual percentage rates, often hovering right between 25 and 30%. What does that mean? It means if you overspend trying to chase those precious points and you carry a balance into the next month without paying your bill in full, you get hit with this interest. And here is the harsh reality. Paying 30% interest will instantly, in a single month, wipe out the entire financial value of literally any reward points or lounge access you thought you gained. The math flips completely upside down. Suddenly, you are the one aggressively subsidizing the bank's profit margins. So, weighing it all out, balancing the massive welcome bonuses, the flashy perks, and those very real, very steep dangers of high interest, it is time for the final verdict. Do these heavy metal cards actually deserve a spot in your wallet?
It really comes down to two very distinct profiles. First, the frequent travelers. If you regularly fly domestically or internationally, if you naturally dine out a lot, if you organically use services like Uber, and this is the absolute most important part, if you are disciplined enough to pay your bill 100% in full every single month without fail, then a premium credit card is an absolute profit machine for you. You are extracting way more value than you are paying in fees. On the other exact opposite hand, we have the status seekers. If you rarely travel, if you are drawn in purely by the prestige of dropping a heavy metal card on the table, and you end up contorting your budget just to use the credits, or worse, carrying a balance, then you are simply generating profit for the bank. You, my friend, are paying for someone else's free flights.
So, I've got to ask, which premium card do you currently have? Or, which one are you eyeing right now? Are you running it like a finely tuned profit machine, or is it quietly draining your bank account just for the sake of carrying a heavy piece of metal? Take a really hard look at your wallet today and let me know in the comments below. I absolutely love seeing how everyone optimizes their setups. And hey, if you enjoyed this explainer and want more structured, no-nonsense breakdowns of the financial world, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and I'll see you in the next one.